My name is Az, and this is Essential Tips and Tricks for how to be a successful college student. Today is episode 4 with Nejla, and we are going to talk about time management, academic balance, motivation, and career path. I hope you enjoy it.
So I know you, but the people who are going to watch us, they don't know who you are. So please tell us about yourself.
So, hello everyone. My name is Najla. I'm from Algeria. I came from a physics background. And then after my physics master, I joined a mathematical master in South Africa. And right now, I'm a PhD student in UCAS, University of Chinese Academy of Science in Beijing.
Yeah, so let us start with career path. How did you decide that you are going to study physics?
Okay, so physics, it's, I think this passion starts from when I was in the high school watching physics documentaries and understand, how the phenomenals like magnetism, so a lot of basic things in physics, how the scientists discover them. So I got fascinated about that. And when I went to the university, my first choice was to choose to go to this field. Yeah.
Okay, so what factors do you recommend our viewers when they will decide on a major or specializations? Like, what factors should they consider?
I think this depends to their what they are good in. This is also this is very important. Like if you see yourself great in science, I mean math, physics, and those subjects, you can really choose anything. You can really succeed on it. So it depends to this factor. Second thing, it's about the motivation, because sometimes we have great grades in some courses, in some subjects. Doesn't mean that we love them. We really want to be on that subject. So I think the motivation, it's more and more important. Sometimes also, there are some subjects we are not excellent on them, but this motivation can really lead us to be excellent on that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like I remember back in high school, my grades in physics were better than my grade in math. But I was like, oh, I want to do math better than physics.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely true. Like sometimes we definitely don't want to do the things that we are really good at, but the things that we love. And
right.
I totally agree. Okay, so how do you maintain motivation throughout your college journey, especially during challenging times?
I think, the motivation, it's coming first, when we love the subject, and also there is effect of professor or the teacher that is teaching the subject. If that professor really knows how to transfer this passion to his student, this is really a great thing, because I think from my experience, I got this from my teachers. Like I love math and physics, and those things I got them from my teachers. My teachers, they were amazing. They were really strict. They need us to succeed, but they know how to transfer the information out and how to inspire us. Yeah, it's from the inspiration. So yeah.
Okay, are there any practical tips that you recommend to avoid burnout and to stay enthusiastic about your learning?
think if you get tired, just rest, but never quit. So I think there are a lot of tips that we can do. Maybe you can listen to music, do something else, do something that you really like, that can make you relax, and then you can get back to learn. Yeah.
That's great. So, okay, let's talk about balancing math and physics, because I know you had to take physics class and math class at the same time. So
Right.
how did you allocate study hours between math and physics and other subjects so that you can even not lose any of those?
I think, okay, both of them are important subject, and how to balance between them. I think physics needs much math. I mean, math, it's already everywhere. If we go to biology, any subject really needs math. So we are already using, how we can say it, explaining the physical phenomena using mathematical tools. So when I studied, for example, from my experience, when I have done math, this helps me a lot to understand physics better and better. So there is a combination between them. They are completing each other.
So did you used to study in a group or mostly alone, and how does that work for you?
Okay, so in the high school, starting from there, I was studying alone, and then at the university, I start sometimes joining some groups, working together, and I think study in a group more helpful, because sometimes we cannot catch everything, so we can help each other and teach each other and exchange ideas, etc. So working and learning in a group is great, but needs no more than, large group also is not a great idea.
You cannot listen to all of those people.
Right.
Yeah. So what is the magic number? How many people do you need to have at most in a group, like from your experience?
I think 3 is maximum.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 is maximum, especially in physics or math subjects, that when you are trying to solve problems. Or maybe we can say 4, but for 4, 2 they can work together, and 2 they can work together. We cannot make a large group to solve the same thing. This is what I think.
Yeah, that's definitely helpful. So let's
you.
talk about time management right now. So do you have a weekly schedule, or how do you choose which homeworks to work on right now and when to do all of the homeworks that you have?
Okay, so time management is very critical point. I think for all of us, it's not easy to manage it, but it's possible. We are always trying our best. So we have 2 kind of schedule. One, we can make the weekly one, the month, and then we can go to the year. So the year, it's the big image of the project, or the something that we are working on to achieve by the end of the year. And then we are going to the month. So I think it depends to the tasks. Each task we need to give it how we can say it, logical interval of time. We cannot set a task for example, it can be done in 1 month, and then we are going to put it in 1 week. This is not possible. But for the daily time management is very important. I think we need always to schedule 1 week what we are going to do every day, and which task that we are going to achieve every day. This is very helpful.
Okay, so talking about that, are there any specific tools or techniques to help you stay organized like that and meet all the deadlines?
Okay. Okay, we need to work hard to meet the deadlines, but the time management can help us. So if we have, for example, a task, with this task we get it today, and the deadline, for example, after 1 week or something. So we need to break down that task in pieces. So each piece we can done it, for example, give it a time, and that time we should not go more than it. We will try like to done it in that piece that we give it, because if we didn't do that, then we will not going to meet the deadline. I think this is great thing that we need to do as first thing. And there is also a lot of so if we struggle something in something, and there is someone, for example, in our group that he knows he can help, and directly or even directly, maybe he can give a hand, so you can move on. You cannot stay always struggling in the same thing, and the time is moving. And also try to Google it, try to find a solution. So I think that can be helpful to meet the deadline.
So what is your advice for students who want to learn a very advanced topic or just a new topics in general?
I think practicing is very, very important. Don't think if you understand what you got from the class, then you can master everything. You are great on that. I think this is really important to stay always and to be a top student.
Do you have any advice for people who are getting started doing research and writing their thesis or dissertation?
I think research and writing thesis specifically needs a lot of reading. When you read a lot of papers, you will gain, a lot of scientific vocabulary, because it's different. It's different than the normal vocabulary that we are using. So by reading much, you can have the chance, or you can be good in writing. And more you read and more you write, with time you will improve, because it's still a hard thing to achieve. It's not easy to scientific language. It's not really an easy thing to achieve very quick. It will be with time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me in this video today.
It's my pleasure, and thanks for the invitation again, Ansa. It's for everyone.